Traders, welcome back to our price action trading lesson. We're looking at S&P 500 and mini futures, and we're going to talk about how we can use price action rules to help us navigate the market, understand the market structure, and vary the high probability setups. So what is the structure telling me right now? Well, I can see we start with some spike in a channel pattern. We have a break and push to a new extreme, so the uptrend played out. Now already I can see some slight bullish bias because overall the bottom part of this bigger trend range is quite empty. But this is nothing unusual. We can have some strong reversal perhaps. So let's see what's going to happen. We had a failed second entry long, but the signal bar was bullish. I cannot sell a bullish bar. And double bar entry is not fully ideal just yet. It was a little bit too bullish. Let's see what's going to happen. Market is correcting with new low, first entry short. We have a second entry short right here, but second entry short form above EMA while the uptrend doesn't have a clear break in new high. So we can't really sell. The structure is just developing. It's quite all over the place. It's quite sideways. So I'm just trying to follow the short-term trends pretty much. Waiting patiently for something clear, and we have pushed back above EMA. Okay, so this is important thing what happened, because we talked about that the bottom part of the trend range is already empty, and the fact you already have a break push to a new low and you're back above EMA and price action keeps working higher is telling us that some bullish imbalance is kicking in. Okay, you can see it looks quite sideways, quite rangy, but there are higher lows, so this is bullish imbalance. At this point I'm not really thinking about selling, okay, because we have bullish bias that is kicking in. But at the same time, I cannot go long at the top of the move, so I still need to remain patient. Okay, break, push to a new high. Market is reversing down. We have push to a new low. Break, push to a new extreme. Downtrend played out. And price action is pushing back above EMA. So at this point, once again, there is no bearish reversal. Okay, we are not breaking the lows. So reversal is not happening. Downtrend already played out, and you're pushing back above EMA. So the bullish imbalance is still kicking in. I was considering perhaps failed second entry short, because this is how you want to trade these imbalances, these weak versions of trends. If I'm going to draw a short-term uptrend, I struggle to find a good fitting alternative. This is a little bit too broad. You have failed second entry short here, but problem is it doesn't look ideal. If we at least trigger below this nice juicy bearish bar to know these sales are trapped, we have to go long here above, right into the trend channel line. I'm not a big fan of this. Had it formed better, I would have liked it more. But because it formed like this, I remain patient. But this is not the worst setup to expect. Definitely it's okay to expect it, but it just didn't form that clean because the trend line is coming in play here, the trend channel line, and we didn't even take below. So it's better to be a little bit patient here. Okay, we're working higher, and market keeps trending up. So we are creating higher lows and higher highs. So the structure is clearly bullish. This is a weak uptrend at this point. Weak uptrend looks like trend range slightly tilted up. So now I'm going to look for some channel, and I need to locate trend channel that's going to have a good fit without empty room. So I was playing something like this. A little early break here, but this allows me to have decent fitting channel, push phase, correction phase, push phase, correction phase, push phase, and correction phase. Even though I said you don't want to be selling around this area, I meant that you don't want to be selling at the resistance while the trend is in play. Once you're breaking new high, and you have some decent short setup, for example, even lower high would be great because you can trade these super weak structures, these weak trends both ways. It's okay to sell some decent stuff at the top once the micro trend plays out. It's really good to follow the micro trend, break a new high, and then you can consider selling. I would say this is a little bit more aggressive, and there was no great lower high. But right now, we have brand new push phase and trend is working higher. So we are thinking about buying at this point. We're not thinking about selling because the channel is confirmed. We have every single major low that is higher and higher. A new high, first entry long, second entry long. But not only this is an inside bar, I also have short-term trend in play. I don't like really drawing it just for one bar like this. So I'm going to redraw it from this leg right here. This was a strong push down, but it's an inside bar, so I can't take it. Can I get high low? Yes, I can. There is no count reset, but it's very close. You generally prefer high low to form much closer to the setup that is confirming. And on top of that, the signal bar is not the best. I can see there's some tail at the top. There was some selling pressure towards the close. You know, the legs are broad, yes, but you really want high low pretty much right after the second entry long to kind of capitalize still on the confirmation of the second entry long. It's technically okay because the trend held and we have right now bullish structure working higher. So we are thinking about buying and the EMA keeps holding. I'm going to mark it more aggressive. It would be great to get some mini second entry long because you get more confirmation of the EMA, but there is no tick lower, there is no break below these bars low. So the first entry long, the high low is still working, and eventually ended up working higher like this. So market remains bullish. New high can reset first entry long. So every single time I have a new high, I'm forced to reset the count and start my count over. I'm using the counting technique to identify the correct entry. So new high first entry long, new high first entry long again because we broke above this bar high, but I cannot take first entry. That's not a high probability setup because the correction is still taking its time. I have to draw short-term downtrend every single time. Break, new low. We have a second entry long here, but I don't want to go long below EMA. Also, the leg down looks quite steep. There can be easily case made for a slightly wider channel. So can I go long below EMA? I was thinking about high above EMA. Can I get a high above EMA confirmation? Because not only the big channel is in play, but this secondary channel also should get new high eventually. These secondary channels are not super important. You're mainly relying on this big channel that is giving you the main bias that you're thinking about buying. But it is helpful to also have some secondary channel in play. Can I get high low? No high low. Okay, there will need to be first entry short or failed. By the time you get high low, it's here, but now you broke below EMA. You already created a significant push up. And because you're back below EMA, I definitely cannot go long now. So I'm gonna redraw a brand new short-term trend like this. I was thinking we can get some second entry long bounce off this support. We have a second entry long here, but I cannot go long above this bearish bar. Also below EMA still, you know, not fully to support, although you can drill a bit higher, but still not fully there. So bad signal bar below EMA, not fully to support. We need something closer to the support or above EMA. And market ended up correcting lower. Okay, another break push to an extreme. So we have two legs down here. Market moves in pairs of twos. Two legs down here. Plus we have a bigger two-legged pullback, something like this. So market has two-legged pullback down. All downtrends played out. We traded up while we're in a consolidation. So everything is telling us that there is no bearish reversal. So now I want to see push above EMA as a confirmation that the bulls are back in the market, and I want to see high low or failed second entry short. If you're thinking about failed breakout here, your idea is correct. There was no trigger above this bullish bar, so the failed breakout never really triggered. You cannot go long above this bar, but you have consolidation, you have broad two legs down. That's really good. Not only you have mini two legs down, but if you're going to combine with the fact that you have these broad two legs down, failed breakout would actually be decent trade because we traded up. But because there was no break, we are forced to wait for the push above EMA and some high low confirmation setup. You have a high low here, but you have to use double bar entry. You cannot go long above bearish bar, and this double bar entry is super big. You have to wait for break above this bar, then maybe using limit order somewhere around here or somewhere around here. I mean, perhaps. I don't think it came back. Yeah, it never came back. We can mark it more educational wise, but you know, when you're actually trading this, it never even came back with the limit order. But two legs down, full breakout, high low confirmation setup, resumption of the uptrend, confirming full breakout. Everything according to price action rules tells us we're going to go higher. Okay, market keeps working higher, keeps working higher. A significant push phase is happening, so the trend is still in play, the big one. So I'm not thinking about selling, I'm still thinking about buying. And you can see the trend is getting stronger. Here, this perfect example, we started with weaker structure of a trend because the corrections are very strong. Look at how strong the bearish trends are, the bearish pullbacks. They're very strong. It looks like trend range slightly tilted down, slightly tilted up. And now the pullbacks are getting smaller and smaller. You're no longer breaking EMA so easily. So you can see EMA holding is getting steeper. So now you evolve from weaker trend into medium trend. So trend is getting stronger and stronger. So now I'm not thinking about selling. I can sell maybe these highs or these highs, but now I'm definitely only thinking about buying this. I'm going to make the most money. Okay, new high first entry long, count reset, new high first entry long. Going to redraw the downtrend like this. I have a deep push back above EMA, and I have a second entry long. I have a new high first entry, second entry long. EMA keeps holding. I also like playing this small support, and it's such a strong pushback above EMA, broad two legs. I like this setup. I took the second entry long, decent high broad this setup, second entry long, and we also had a failed second entry short right here, failed second entry short, new low first entry short, second entry short, tiny bar, only 1.25, definitely worth the risk. Second entry long, failed second entry short. I took smaller scalp because the ATR was small, but eventually ended up working higher like this. So EMA keeps holding. We talked about how the trend evolved into a stronger version of a trend, so we're more aggressive buying, and because EMA keeps holding, everything is aligning. Great hyperbolic setups, correction phase is ending. Second entry long, far from the EMA, cannot take. Bearish bar, no nothing, we're just going sideways. I don't think we can go long here. It's going really sideways, no good trade here. inside bar, so no real setup here. Market is correcting. I'm gonna redraw the leg like this. It fits pretty well. Break, push to a new extreme, downtrend played out. And once again, you need to train your eyes to look for these two-legged pullbacks. There. The broader they are, the more they're telling you that the bearish momentum is over. It depleted. Another failed second entry short, super tempting because it's a failed second entry short, 2 legs down, downtrend played up, but it's not full above the EMA. And now you actually have a high low. You can actually consider, oh, it's actually way too late, so you can't really take it. I'm gonna mark it educational wise, but it's way too late, so it doesn't really matter. But it's a decent high low because you can see how we're getting back above EMA. The sells are going to get trapped after downtrend played out. And remember, the main trend is still in place. We're not thinking about selling. It worked, and now the market is about to close. So this is the overall structure for today. It was quite a slow trading day, but basically after we pushed higher here, which confirmed and solidified this wider channel, it was really easy. You're just waiting for a good high probability setup. The trend got much stronger, so there would be nice failed breakout had it triggered. High low form a little bit too big. 2 great setups here, and I don't see no good setup, only for essential long here. So, and this high low is quite aggressive because we already pushed quite far up. You want it to be a little bit closer. Here, I'm gonna actually mark this short setup here because the more I'm looking at it, it really looks like a trend range at this point still. Uptrend played with a break new high, nice bearish bar. So because it looks like a trend range, you basically can ride it back all the way down here. So you have to be a little bit more patient because it took a while for price action to pick up, but eventually you ended up having nice uptrend working here, which was very easy to navigate. So slower day, but no traps, nothing super confusing other than this initial area until you have confirmed channel. And from that point on, it was quite predictable following price action rules. Initially, I was playing my first spike in a channel tied like this, break, push to new high because it also looks like a 1 leg up, break, second leg up. But after we push higher here, it actually looks like there's even a little bit of a wider channel. Because it looked too rangy at the beginning, it was better to follow tighter alternative. But yeah, decent price action overall. I hope you had a good trading. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna talk to you next time. Good luck your trading.